Hi, I'm Dominic Campese and welcome to TCM's Night at the Fights. I collect boxing films and shorts, and behind me you can see some of the many films and shorts I have collected over the last 10 years. Hollywood has always had a love affair with boxing. My research shows that between 1909 and 1929, during the silent era alone, there were over 160 films or shorts made about boxing, many of which are now considered lost. Then with the jazz singer and the introduction of sound and talking pictures, that's when the boxing melodrama found its true calling. At the start of the 30s, it was Jackie Cooper's tears calling for the champ, Harlow starting her seductive screen persona in Iron Man, Cagney writing his newfound fame as the screen's tough guy in Winner Take All and City of Conquest, the look of Edward G. Robinson's eyes when he finds out his fighter, Kid Gallahan, was seeing his sister. We had Golden Boy with Barbara Stanwyck helping out newcomer William Holden with her now famous line when Eddie Fuseli says, "Is this your girl?" Stanwyck's Lorna Moon touts, "I'm my mother's girl." By the end of the 30s, the golden age of Hollywood had made 190 films and shorts that were about boxing. But the 40s started to see the boxing melodrama center more on the characters. The boxers seemed to be fighting within their own personal turmoil. Should they take that dive? Or is it just the fear of going back to the poverty from which they came? But now they want it all, and of course they all think they want the gold-digging, dazzling beauty instead of their loyal and true girl. We see this with John Garfield in They Made Me a Criminal, trying not to become attached, and again in Body and Soul, like he's constantly fighting his conscience, which seems to have an overwhelming knockout power over him. You see it in fiery anger in Kirk Douglas's eyes in Champion, but he keeps his greed and hatred bottled up inside, which ends up causing his own demise. Robert Ryan in The Setup, who keeps looking at his wife's empty seat in the arena, which seems more important than the beating he's taking in the ring. In Killers, Burt Lancaster takes the fall for Ava Gardner, but you feel it doesn't matter. When they're in the same room together, his eyes follow her like there is nothing else but her. The 50s were what was called the golden age of boxing, and the boxing films kept on coming. But as the 60s came and the early 70s, the boxing films were few. Then one film would change all that and bring the boxing film back. A calling for Adrian, from a down-and-out fighter getting his chance of a lifetime to be somebody and only caring about her through all the post-fight mania of not quitting and going the distance. The boxing melodrama was back with Rocky. At the start of the 80s, we get to see maybe the greatest boxing film ever made, in Robert De Niro's portrayal of the tormented middleweight champion Jake LaMotta. In black and white, De Niro has LaMotta in the leopard road moving around the ring. You almost feel like he's a wild animal just wanting to bust loose and ready for battle. You see the uneasy pressure, the moodiness, the hunger, the need for respect, the all-for-nothing need to suffer to get what he wants, the loss of control, the animal inside, the raging bull. And even today, the boxing film still has its place, with the Oscar-winning heartbreak movie Million Dollar Baby and the historical lifelike Depression-era piece Cinderella Man, which still shows the American dream can still come true. So please join me, sit back and relax and enjoy TCM's Night at the Fights!